Hey there YouTube, I've done it again. I've bought myself another guitar. So to start this off, you can see it's a Gibson Les Paul Standard. Why did I buy it? Because I've always wanted one. When I grew up, I've listened to a lot of Guns N' Roses and Led Zeppelin, and a lot of guys played Les Paul Standards. When I made my first money with my first job, I bought myself a studio, but it's not the same thing. So I got this one. And I thought I might make a review about it because it's kind of special. Well, it's not really, but it's cheap. As you might have seen and as you might have noticed if you've watched my channel, I like to buy stuff cheaper than it normally is. And I got this one off of Thomann for 1,700 euros. That is around about 1,900 US dollars. So well below $2,000. And when they came out, they retailed for 2,800, I think. It's a 2016 standard. You might know that the 2017 lineup is out right now by Gibson. You can differentiate it because it doesn't have this plate here. And the 2018 is about to drop right now, but there are a lot of reviews on those. So why 2016? Prices dropped, obviously. Thomann had to get rid of them. Love the color. You don't have as much color choices when you buy cheaper. And well, basically, I thought I'd give it a try. I was a little bit anxious, and that's why I'm making this video too, because you might have noticed there's a lot of bad press about Gibson lately, especially on the internet. They are selling their Memphis production line for 70 million. They are in debt for $450 million or something like that, and everybody hates the CEO, and it's the quality control is supposedly very, very bad these days. So that being said, I thought I'd give it a try. I can always return it if it's a bad one, and if you've seen in my other videos, watched my channel, if this turns out to be bad, I will send it back. Well, I was lucky, it wasn't. And why is that? Maybe I really got lucky and got one of the good Gibsons that they still do turn out, or it is because there was a little sticker on the box when it came that said that it was quality controlled by Thomann. So I'm guessing that means, and if you know it for sure, please let me know, that Thomann actually unboxed this guitar and made sure that it's fine. Because I've ordered a couple of guitars, from Thomann, and I've never seen that sticker on the box before. So it might be that Thomann pre-selects the Gibson guitars and sends the bad ones back. I have no idea, but it worked for me. I got a guitar that is basically fine. There are two minor flaws that I want to tell you about, and if you're a very picky person, you might think 1,700 bucks for a guitar. Not with this. There is some bleeding into the binding. I know it's somewhere and it's not a lot, so I have to look it up. Here, very minute traces of color that were bleeding into the binding. I couldn't be bothered, to be honest. So, and it's only on this one spot. Yeah, sloppy work maybe. I might take a photograph and put it into this video so you have an idea how bad it is. And when you select the switch in the middle position, it's a bit loose. Alright, these are the flaws. None of the other stuff I've heard on the internet that could be wrong with Gibson Les Paul guitars these days happened to the one I got. So I'm quite lucky there. The color is called Fireburst. It has mahogany body and neck, rosewood fretboard, cream binding, and all the shenanigans. You know, it's a Les Paul, so I don't have to talk about that really. What got me into buying this one, and not the traditional version of the 2016 lineup, is that it has locking tuners by Grover, and I'm a bit of a sucker for locking tuners because I hate changing strings. And it comes with the Burstbucker Pros. I have no idea how the 57 Classics, which are in the traditional sound, but I guess they have a lower output, which I was intrigued, to be honest. I play a lot of blues. But this has a lot of options down here. So every one of those pots, it has 2 volume, 2 tone pots, is pullable. You can pull them out and it does something. So let's get into that. I'm plugged into my PV6505 mini head. I am right now on the crunch channel, and that's it. Nothing else in the signal path. Going into the UR22 Steinberg straight into Logic Pro X. Let's give a listen. Let's start with the treble. Everything on 10. And I think it sounds amazing. I love the sound of this guitar. So I want to demonstrate some cleans, but I don't want to switch everything on the amp, blah blah blah. So one thing this guitar does that none of my other Les Paul Studios or other guitars does this well is it rolls off very nicely. Let me demonstrate. What that means is you can go from crunch or drive to clean just by rolling off the volume pot. I'm at 5 right now, all right? So and if you want some more dynamic, a little bit more crunch, I'm going up to 7. And I love that about this guitar. To be really honest, I love it because it gives you the opportunity to roll it back a bit and just play some nice cleans. And if you are hitting the strings harder, the dynamic, you get the crunch in, or you can go to full. And all that by just rolling that thing. If I pull it out, it splits the coils on the, we're here on the bridge humbucker. It sounds like this. Let's roll it off a bit. I'm at 4. And the same happens with the neck humbucker. Let's split it. Let me tune real quick. So that's the basic coil splitting or tapping. Not really sure which one it is, not really sure what the difference is. And so we have 2 more. We have the tone pots. What do they do? This one is very interesting. This one is raw output as far as I understand it. Once you pull that one out, the signal goes from the bridge humbucker directly out. So you can turn and twist all those knobs, they won't do anything. Let me demonstrate. I currently have no volume turned up on the bridge humbucker. I have no volume at the rhythm, and I can switch it to the rhythm even if I want. If I pull this out, everything goes onto this and directly out. I can turn all the tone off. Let me demonstrate so you can hear. Once I pull it, that's what that does. I like it. And last but not least, this one got me kind of intriguing too, because it does the Peter Green, Gary Moore thing. Now, if you're into Les Pauls, you might have heard about this guitar, currently owned by Kirk Hammett, and I got to hear it live in Paris this year when I was at the Metallica concert. And even if you do not like Metallica or Kirk Hammett, what I like about him is he bought that guitar, which belonged to Gary Moore, and before that to Peter Green, and he's playing it. He's taken it out on tour, so it's not in some collection. And this guitar was famous for one thing. The pickups were wrong. I think they were built in wrong and they were out of phase. So when you put the toggle switch in the middle position, so you get two humbuckers, and you pull this one out, it does exactly that. It will put them out of phase. So let me give you some sound samples. So basically this guitar gives you a lot of options just by the switches on the guitar itself, and that was one reason for me to buy it as well. So it comes stacked with a lot of shit. I mean, let's be honest, what more can you actually want on a guitar? And I think it's a AAA book match top, which I think looks stunning. And it's not the big fat 59 neck, it's a small slim neck, it's modern weight relief, but don't kid yourself, it's still a heavy ass guitar. I think I got lucky, or thank you Thomann for checking every Les Paul before you send them out, maybe it's really that. So to sum it all up, I've had it for about 3 or 4 weeks now. It will stay, it will definitely not go back, there are no flaws with it. It does what it's supposed to do. It has a lot of switchery going on down here, which is really enjoyable because you can roll it off and get it clean and put the crunch back in and have the coil splitting or tapping. Plus you have the out of phase for the humbuckers. So it's a lot in my opinion for a guitar. It's still $1,700. I think it's still expensive for a guitar. You have to pay the Gibson name. They've always been on a high horse. They've always been a bit more expensive, but I think I made a good deal, to be honest. I've checked on Reverb and some people are selling their used ones for more than that. So come on. Link is down in the description. You can go to Thomann, check it out for yourself if they still have them in stock for that price. I have no idea, I haven't looked. And I got mine. No scratch board. It is in a box and you can screw it on, but come on, look at that thing, look how beautiful it is. But I guess if you like it, you'll put it on, if not, then not. I'm very, very happy with that buy. I've always wanted one, I got one now. Looks stunning, plays amazingly. The action, just for those of you who like to know, is very low right now, but don't let me tell you something that's not right. Let me check. I have it at 1.5 millimeters on the low E string and at 1 millimeter at the high E string, which translates to 0.06 on the low and 0.04 at the high E string. I like my action to be very low. It does that. No fret buzz whatsoever, and there are no dead spots anywhere on the neck at this ultra low action, which I also absolutely love about this guitar. I've had guitars where this wasn't the case. So some of you might say, well, for that kind of money this is what you should expect, but after what I've read about Gibson quality control, I am happy that I got this, to be honest, which is a shame. But I don't know, I'm a sucker for Gibson, I still like them. And Every time I pick it up, it makes me smile, and I love to play it, and I do it all the time, and that in itself should be worth something, I guess. So if you are in the market for a Gibson Les Paul Standard, check out the 2016 models wherever they are left on the shelves. You might get a really good deal on them, and they are amazing guitars. Let me rephrase that, and there are amazing guitars out there. No idea if all of them are this good or this well made. Mine is. I'm a happy motherfucker for that. So, rock on guys. If you like this review, which was not sponsored by Gibson, I don't think Gibson even sponsors reviews, subscribe to my channel, leave me a thumbs up, and I'll do more stupid stuff. I'm out.